Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely fascinating, shamanic shadow work. But we aren't just stopping at mysticism here. We're going to look at it through the grounded, empirical lenses of biology, quantum physics, and clinical psychology. We'll explore how these ancient techniques map perfectly onto modern science, and we'll wrap up with a highly practical step-by-step tutorial on how you can actually integrate these practices into your everyday life.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The biology and physics of shamanism. 2. Where shamanism meets psychotherapy. 3. Defining the shamanic shadow. And 4. A step-by-step guide to the shadow dance. Let's get right into it.
All right, Part 1, the biology and physics of shamanism.
To really grasp this, we've got to talk about the sensorium. Think of it as your body's ultimate sensory apparatus. Shamans operate with a highly tuned sensorium that allows them to acutely feel physical discord, love, and environmental energy. While a lot of us walk around with our sensoria kind of shut down, ignoring those subtle signals our bodies are sending us, shamanic practice actively trains this biological hardware to become incredibly receptive.
Now here is where it gets wild. These altered states, they trigger literal, measurable neurophysiological changes. When a shaman enters a trance, the brain floods the nervous system with endorphins. These act just like opiates, dropping sensitivity to pain and inducing euphoria. And even more incredibly, aggravating the nervous system through these practices actually helps forge brand new neural connections. It literally rewires the brain.
Okay, shifting gears from biology to physics. You know the ancient shamanic idea that everything in the universe is deeply connected? Well, it maps perfectly onto something called QIP, the quantum inseparability principle. Basically, quantum physicists tell us that every particle affects every other particle, everywhere, across time. Sound familiar?
Even Max Planck, literally the founding father of quantum theory, hit the nail on the head here. He said that all matter originates and exists only by virtue of a conscious and intelligent, non-visible living energy force. Shamanic traditions talk about humans having an energy body that extends roughly 27 feet outward into a continuous field. Planck's energy force and the shaman's energy body are just two different vocabularies describing the exact same matrix of reality.
So, what the shaman calls the mysterious unknown, the physicist simply calls the void, or the quantum plenum. It's this foundational space of pure potential. It's the vibrating system of conscious energy where all manifestation actually happens. The space where your intention literally shapes reality.
Moving right along to Section 2, Shamanism meets psychotherapy.
When you actually translate the vocabulary between these two fields, the parallels are just mind-blowing. What a shaman calls a journey to the lower world to cure soul loss, a psychotherapist calls that accessing the subconscious to heal trauma and fragmentation. And that shamanic method of journeying, it's basically Carl Jung's concept of active imagination. The mechanics of going inward to retrieve lost pieces of yourself are identical, only the labels have changed.
Now, I want to clear up a super common misconception. Some folks kind of lump shamanic states together with mental illness, but the research draws a very clear line. Unlike the involuntary pathology of conditions like schizophrenia, shamanism is strictly voluntary. The practitioner enters and leaves the altered state totally at will, keeping complete agency to extract useful info for healing.
And this highlights a huge philosophical difference. Western medicine, it tends to go to war. It fights symptoms and pathogens like home invaders that must be destroyed. But shamanic medicine, it uses diplomacy. It treats those exact same symptoms as an invitation to find a root emotional or energetic imbalance. Pain is literally just your body tapping you on the shoulder, asking you to pay attention. Which brings us to a really crucial personal question for all of us. If our symptoms are just invitations, how do we actually stop fighting our hidden pain and start integrating it?
That takes us right into Section 3, the Shamanic Shadow.
So what is the shadow? In this framework, it's not some inner demon or evil entity hiding in the dark. Not at all. It's simply the repository for your unacknowledged junkery, the hidden pain, the quiet shame, the self-sabotage you just haven't taken responsibility for yet. And you know what it needs? It is begging for your unconditional love and acceptance. And here's where the paths really diverge. Traditional therapeutic shadow work often accidentally judges the shadow, right? It tries to fix it, transmute it, or transcend it. But shamanic shadow work demands something completely different. It demands radical, 100% responsibility. Your shadow doesn't want you to magically fix your trauma today. It just wants you to own it.
Because true healing is all about harmonizing form, energy, and light. You simply can't harmonize your internal energy if you're constantly at war with your own shadow. You need to drop the illusion of separation and build a deeply engaged, curious relationship with those hidden parts of yourself.
All right, let's get incredibly practical with Section 4, the step-by-step shadow dance.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? Step 1, check in first thing in the morning. Grab a pen and paper and physically draw a line right down the center. Step 2, address your shadow out loud by name. Literally say, "Hello, shadow." Giving it a name and speaking to it verbally acknowledges its reality and shows deep respect for the energy you're engaging.
Step 3, ask your shadow a question out loud and write that question down in the left column. Then, for Step 4, you're going to use your heightened sensorium, your audio, visual, and kinesthetic perception. Feel into your body, listen to your inner ear, and write the shadow's exact answer in the right column. You are building an authentic, physical dialogue between your conscious and subconscious mind here.
If you're sitting there wondering, well, what do I even ask? Just be blunt. Ask things like, what isn't working in my life right now? Or why do I keep doing this to myself? Ask where you aren't taking responsibility as a quantum creator. Your shadow knows exactly where you're self-sabotaging, and if you ask it with genuine curiosity instead of judgment, it will absolutely tell you.
Now pay close attention because this is literally the most important part of the whole practice. You must conclude with this explicit statement. Thank you, shadow. I love you, shadow. Say it out loud. This explicit statement of gratitude and unconditional love is what breaks the cycle of shame. It shows you accept this part of yourself completely.
Because you, my friend, are a quantum creator. By talking to your shadow instead of fighting it, you step totally out of that victim mentality. You stop blaming the outside world and you reclaim your personal power by taking 100% responsibility for your reality.
So I want to leave you with one final thought. Look at your own internal discord right now. What hidden part of yourself, what old pain or habit are you finally ready to take responsibility for today? Your shadow is just waiting to be welcomed back into the light. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this gives you a powerful new framework for your own inner work.